What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Fantasy Files Podcast, the podcast that wastes hours of your life that you're never getting back. We are your co-hosts, Spencer and Gabe, and today we are back in the Creators Corner for the first time in a very long time. It's been at least a year since we've done the Creators Corner.
Wow.
I think so.
I guess it does.
Yeah, I didn't go check, but I think Nick Henderson, I think, was one of the last ones, and that was a long time ago. But yeah, we are back in the Creators Corner with Wilson108, fellow YouTuber and video game enthusiast. And yeah, you guys probably know what to expect from a Creators Corner episode. It always goes off the rails at some point, usually sooner than later. And yeah, if you'd like to reach out to us, we have Discord, Twitter, and many other links in the description down below, including Patreon, where you can watch these episodes live as we record them, just like Spacey Nova is doing today. Without further ado, welcome, Wilson. Thank you for hopping on the show with us and taking time out of your own content creation to help us with ours.
Of course. Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I love the chance to get to talk YouTube video games with people. I have, some friends in my life that are fellow gamers, but it's rare that I get the chance to really, fully dig into the topics.
Yeah.
So it's always a pleasure to have an opportunity like this to just talk about the stuff I love. It's a gift. So thank you for having me.
Do you have other friends in real life that are also content creators at all?
That's a good question.
I have one friend in my local area that is kind of a YouTuber. That's it.
Interesting. I mean, I have a good friend of mine that used to back in the day, doesn't really do it anymore. But generally any friends that I have that are actually content creators I've met through doing this.
Yeah.
Friends that I have through just the organic rhythm of life. Some that love games, but none that really do the content creation thing with any level of seriousness.
Yeah. I'm with you. It's kind of like I don't know. I feel like for a while it felt like everybody was doing it, and then it kind of went on a little bit of a decline in the last couple of years. I felt like I knew people who at least created content for something, whether it was they had a TikTok channel they uploaded to regularly or an Instagram thing that they did on a regular basis. And now it's kind of just since we've started the podcast, when we started it, what was it, 2021, I think? Or maybe the tail end of 2020, when everybody decided to make a podcast because everybody was at home.
Yeah.
We had many friends that started YouTube channels, not locally, but just online. People that had started around the same time as us, and I would say probably 60 to 70% of the people that started when we started have fallen off, and then we've kind of stayed. There's a few other people that we're friends with that have stayed, but yeah, it kind of, everybody in this call right now knows that it takes a toll on you.
Yeah, it's
that it does.
A real commitment.
Oh, what is Nova saying here? I was doing it, but started working full time now. Yep, that's another thing, is when you're working full time, it's really tough. I don't have time. Yeah.
Yep. That sums it up.
That sums it up.
It does.
Time's it.
Yeah.
Time's the hard part.
Yeah, Wilson, you actually so you're doing YouTube full time and had left your previous job to do this full time, is that right?
I was laid off from the job. So had I not been laid off, I would not have left. But that was kind of this kick in the pants to attempt the pursuit of it full time.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Not cool that you got laid off. That's all. But
hey,
cool that it pushed you.
Blessing in disguise.
Yeah, there you go.
Sure.
There you go.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of being laid off, so when I found your channel, I think I told you one time in a live stream, I was like, oh yeah, when I found your channel, I was going through this really depressing time or whatever, and then I found you guys. So during that time, I had gotten let go from the job that I had, and I went into like full. I am not like a depression person at all. I'm usually very not optimistic, but very just kind of up. I'm also very like blue collar, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, kind of old American way. Um, but dude, during this time, I just like went into a funk. And I found your guys' channel, and I binged so much of your content because it's so like wholesome, it's so fun, it's so I don't like when I think of your channel, I think of like bright colors, if that makes
Oh,
sense.
nice,
I'm
nice.
like a very visual person. Um,
Uh-huh.
but uh but yeah, and so I found your guys' channel. I'm like, man, this is just it's like the perfect um like antidepressant, I guess.
Oh wow, that's a great that's a tagline, man. We
Yeah.
need to
Yeah.
trademark that. That's awesome, man. I mean, it's one of my favorite things about making videos and creating something of this nature is that I love hearing anecdotes from people that talk about for some reason I always love it too when people talk about watching multiple videos. Like you see,
Yes.
you post a video and you get the views, and the views are so numeric and binary, it's just a number. But to really hear
Yeah.
about someone like you just described, Spencer, that is going through a rough patch and then finds
Yeah.
the channel and then enjoys the content and sticks with us, and then we get to know that person, and then we know them out of the rough patch, like we
Right.
there's this progression to it. I don't know. I love that. And I mean, getting laid off for me was one of the most traumatic, hard
Yeah.
things that's
Yeah.
ever
Yeah.
happened to me. And so I mean, no one can relate to it more than I have. Over the course of that was about a year and a half ago that happened.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Um, and this has been a remarkable chapter of life with a lot of high highs and very low lows. And creating
Yeah.
all of this stuff has helped me, and pursuing all of this has helped me process all of that too. So as much as I love, it's a really cool harmony that I hear from people that benefit and get something out of what we're doing. So too have I gotten a lot of just intrinsic value from doing it. I think it's very challenging, and we can talk about that, but it's been, I feel like, exactly what I needed out of that job. Like it feels like this was
Yeah.
the next pivot that I needed in my life.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. For sure. And, speaking of the ways that people, react to your content and stuff and the way it does different things in different people's lives, in your live stream last night, I think wasn't there multiple people that were like, "Oh yeah, this is like date night for my girlfriend and I, or for my
Yeah,
wife and I," and we're like,
That's
we
so
watch your
cool.
videos and hang out.
That's so cool.
it's yeah, that I love hearing from couples that like to watch it together. Like that, I think that particular couple that was talking, she mentioned that she didn't really play games. Her
Yes.
boyfriend or husband, I'm not sure what their relationship is, but he loves video games, and I think she's always been a little more averse to it. Played some back when she was a kid, and and this is not the first person to mention this, but seeing my girlfriend Ellie, who that's a large focus of the channel, is highlighting Ellie trying games. People will see that and they'll either be inspired to pick the controller back up, maybe pick it up for the first time, and I love hearing that people genuinely felt galvanized to try gaming in a different capacity maybe than they had in the past because they saw Ellie try it and
Right.
felt a little more confidence within themselves that she was
Yeah.
able to do something. Like I love that. That's such a wholesome, as you mentioned, just a very
It's
cozy
it's such a
fact.
Yeah.
win. It's such a win.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's the ultimate victory right there.
well, speaking of Ellie, do you want to talk about your channel a little bit for people that don't know and describe like, you have your more video essay videos that you do, but you also have My Girlfriend Played Blank. Do you want to talk about
Sure.
those a little
Yeah.
bit?
Absolutely, yeah. So, I mean, the channel originally started, I just kind of wanted to make video game reviews. I used to love watching video reviews back in the day. GameTrailers.com was like my go to. I loved watching their reviews, and I always aspired to make them myself. And so that was kind of the origin of the channel. I just started to review some games that I loved. It was very much just a passion project on the side, kind of evolved into some more video essays as time went on. And I think I actually started the channel about 3 years ago, almost to the day. So when I started that, Ellie and I, at the time, we had met once and we did not really know each other. We were just kind of messaging back and forth a little bit, getting to know each other. We
Okay.
weren't dating at the time. But over the course of the channel, obviously, we started to date. And it was back at the end of 2024. I just thought, I've seen a couple of other videos that had a partner trying a game, and I loved those videos. Why would you want to try a game? Like, and I never really conceived the idea of doing it myself before, but thankfully she was very gung ho and willing to do it. So we just
Had she had like a history of playing games? I thought she also played games, or is that
She
no?
did, yeah. She had not an extensive history with games, but somewhat of a history, which is attributable largely to her dad growing up. He played games, so she kind of just
Mm,
got that through
yep.
osmosis. But she played games, and that was one of the
Oh,
first things we ever talked about. The first time that I met her, she talked a little bit about playing The Last of Us, I think, and wanting to play wanting to
Nice.
play through those games. So
Yeah.
it was really perfect because she had the framework of playing video games. It would have been hard if she had no familiarity with a controller.
right,
That would be a different level of potential for what we could do. But she
right,
already had the fluency with the controller, so she understood
Yeah.
how games function. But she didn't have enough to really make these experiences easy for her. She was still
right.
very much kind of thrown into the deep end, as it were.
Yeah.
So that we kind of threaded the needle there and got really lucky. And then on top of that, again, she was willing to do it. That was another key component
Yeah.
that thankfully she was even
Yeah,
willing to take it on. So that helped to kind of inform the start of it. And we did a few of those and they did really well. And that was right when I got laid off. We were like, I think I was making the second one or something like that. So
hmm.
those did well in conjunction with losing my job. And I just said, I think I'm just going to try this full time and just see what
Yeah.
happens.
This was early on in your relationship with Ellie, right? Like super early on.
It was pretty early. Yeah. I mean, we'd only been
What?
like formally dating for maybe 6 or 8 months at the time, something like that.
Just on a real level, was that like this fairly new relationship and then laid off, and also I'm gonna try YouTube full time? Was that scary to like bring up with her?
It was a lot. It was a lot. I mean, Ellie
Yeah.
is remarkably supportive and very,
Sure.
very unconditionally um, positive, and but keeps it real as well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I really appreciate. But it was a lot, and I mean, it was a
Yeah.
challenge to
Yeah.
figure out how to do this. When we first started the videos, we did not film ourselves. We did not record our audio. We do that
Right.
now, but
Yeah.
it was easier back then. It was just play the game, and I'm not even going to really give you much with regard to information or guidance. So but then as we incorporated these other elements, then it became, okay, well, how do we do this? What is our dynamic when we're sitting in front of a camera? How do
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
how do we as a couple effectively work together? I mean, that's something that's very
Yeah.
hard for a lot of relationships.
Yeah.
And most couples would never do that. So it
Yeah.
was a challenge to navigate that. And I had to learn how to better facilitate that and be a better sort of shepherd of bringing someone into this hobby that, she's the one that has to deal with all this new. I had to learn how to do a better job of facilitating that and being a good guide, if you will. So
Sure.
yeah, that was an interesting wrinkle. And again, I give massive credit to her because it would have been so easy to say no, and
Yeah.
then we never would have tried it.
Yeah.
But she did. So it just became kind of a slow ascent. Like we added audio in, and then we added a camera in, and so we kind of slowly took these steps forward to being a little more vulnerable and actually showing
Hmm.
our faces and kind of letting people into these different elements of the process. For me,
Hmm.
it wasn't until
Yep.
whatever video we both threw a camera in, like that was the first time I had shown my face as well. And I had showed my face back in the day with my old Twitch stream, so I was very used to it. But I
Sure.
get it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
another paradigm to then have your face, because you could have, in theory, 10 million subscribers on YouTube. But if you don't show your face, you can be perfectly anonymous. If you show your face, then you're not anymore. So
Right.
it's a jump. It's definitely a leap of vulnerability for sure.
Yeah. Was it difficult at first with you not really giving her much guidance? Because now you do, right? Now you give her
hmm
like little hints and stuff to kind of ease her along. Was she getting frustrated at first with no guidance? Especially
Yeah,
because
I
you guys
think
started with like Dark Souls.
we did. We did. Yeah, not the best
That's
starting point.
wild.
I regret that a little bit, but yeah, I think she was incredibly patient. But I think originally the sort of the premise was it's Ellie and it's the game, and it's incumbent on the game to communicate to Ellie what she needs to know, and incumbent on her to listen to the game, and let's explore that relationship. But I think a few episodes in, I kind of found that there were moments, games just don't always do a good job of explaining themselves to the player, and
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
knocking your head into the wall gets old. And so to just force Ellie every episode to kind of intuit these things that she just can't know by virtue of not playing games for her entire life. It just started to kind of grow tiresome, and it felt like part of the fun and best parts of these videos are seeing her overcome something. So if I can give her a pretty innocuous hint that might help just nudge her along, then that serves the video ultimately. I try really hard to hold off on outright explaining to her what she has to do, rather give her some tools that can help accomplish that goal. But yeah, I think if we had kept doing that, where I basically truly give her nothing, I think we probably would have stopped, because I think she would have just been like, I can't do this anymore. But we've kind of found that right balance, I think, of, some advice when she's first starting a boss fight or whatever. I'll just let her feel it out for a while, but then I can kind of come in and support as time's gone on. And people seem, I kind of solicited the audience at some point and said, do you want me to give her advice? Like, are you cool with that? And everybody said, for the most part, yeah, like, give her some help. We want her to succeed.
Yeah.
So
right.
I think that's made for better videos in the long run.
Yeah, for sure. And I even noticed with, what's the Zelda game she's been playing?
Echoes of Wisdom, the one that
Echoes of
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Yeah, she's been enjoying the hell out of that. Like that's been so cool to see her, because normally, we're watching these videos and she's getting frustrated, and it's like, I get it. But to see her play something like Echoes of Wisdom, and like even in last night's stream, she was like, I'm loving, like I feel like I'm doing so good at this, and she's just having a good time. It's like, oh, that's good to see.
Yeah, I love that. And I think kind of part of the gimmick, you could say, originally was, here's a hard game, here's a hard game, here's a hard game. But over time, of course, if you cover enough games, you're going to run out of that. And I came to find that it's just as interesting to watch her play a game that's not as hard, and just see, instead of can she overcome this, the question becomes, well, just what does she think about this? How does she intuit it? How does it speak to her? And that became just as interesting, and I think a more sustainable premise than here's the next From Software game. How many times will Ellie say the F word, before it's over? I mean,
dude,
I think that runs its course.
Speaking of your content being so wholesome, I'm watching several of these videos in a row, and I probably was like 7 or 8 videos in before I found one where Ellie drops an F-bomb, and it's like the hardest I've laughed. Because I was not expecting it. I had been through several videos. I'm like, I know what to expect. And then all of a sudden, Ellie gets hung up on some boss. She's like, that bleeping, F and F. And I'm like, oh my God. It's so funny. Oh my God.
It's hilarious. And she's always like, I'm cussing too much. I can't look your parents in the eyes when I see them anymore. And it's like, I think people generally find it very funny. And I don't know the degree to which it affects monetization or not, but I've just always bleeped the words, just partially to be safe in that regard. But I also find it funnier to bleep them than to not bleep them.
For sure.
And so the comedic effect, it's harmless ultimately. You don't even hear what she says. But I think it's very funny. I just think it's funny to see her get angry.
Awesome. Plus, it's more like, it's kind of more like raw, It's like,
totally.
It's like very real.
I want the real reaction. Like, whatever you're feeling in the moment, it's okay to be mad. Like, get mad. I think everybody, some of the most successful videos we've had, Ellie gets really mad in the video. And that's what people are talking about. So.
I forget what video it was. Oh man, I wish there was a really specific boss. It might have been a Zelda video where she just let out a string of curse words that all got bleeped out. And when you go to the comment section, everybody in the comment section was like, that is the appropriate response to that boss.
Totally.
Dying.
Yeah, everybody always understands. Like, there's never a moment where Ellie gets pissed where people aren't relating with her, relating to her, So I think she's always worried, like, that shouldn't have made me as mad as it did. But it's like, trust me. I got just as angry, if not more so, than you did. I was probably making up new words and running around the room. You keep your composure a lot better than I do. So
yeah, for sure. And like, really, I don't know. It's fun to see her and you as you do your like video essays and stuff. It's fun to see both of you guys kind of experience the entire emotional range of a video game. Like in last night's stream, at the very end, there was that really sad, like, why was that so sad at the end, where he's like, I don't know. My brother's like missing and I'm the problem and all this stuff. It was in the Zelda game. And it was just like this really sad moment. It's like, okay, now the whole chat is sad. We're like, we're with you, Ellie. We're with you. But dude, she's got to play Pow World. You have to get her to play Pow
Yeah,
World.
yeah, I agree. I agree. That's one that it's just I need to do a better job of having like a master list of everything that we need to get to. I have like a
Oh, I
queue
assumed
sort
you
of, but
did.
I have been really poor about like because I'll see somebody comment something like you got to play this game, and I'm like 100% totally agree. It's already in my head, and then I don't write it down. I
Oh,
need
yeah,
to
right.
for my own sake do a better job of keeping like a tome of all of these games. But I
Yeah,
agree, Power World would be really, especially because again, like didn't have any Pokemon experience, but now she does because we've tried a few
right.
Pokemon games. So
Yep.
now, how does she view this game in a different way by virtue of having experienced Pokemon?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she'll probably understand a lot of the little I mean there's like a ton of little Easter eggs and little nods to
Mm,
Pokemon
hmm.
in Pow World. Have you played it?
I've never played it, so
Okay.
I should play it myself too, and I could make a video out of that. There's a lot of
Yeah,
Yeah.
Power
for
It's
World
fun.
content there potentially.
for sure, especially because let me look it up. When does Pow World hit 1.0? I think it's like now.
Yeah, I
July
think it is, isn't it?
July 10th is Pal World
Okay.
1.0. It
Oh,
comes out of
interesting.
early access. So I guarantee there's going to
Mm,
be a tidal wave of Pal World
yeah.
like algorithm to be had around July 10th.
Okay, maybe
Um,
we should look ahead to July. That we do a little Power World video in there.
yeah.
That's a good idea.
Are you into like all sorts of different styles of games? Like, do you like survival, base crafting, stuff like that? Or is it more so like story driven?
I think I tend to be more story driven.
Yeah.
I love a lot of different genres, certainly.
Yeah.
I feel like it's easier for me to think of like the ones that I don't resonate with as opposed to the
Yep.
ones that I do. Survival games have always been very daunting to me. I've never really
Yeah.
I haven't really delved into them that much, so I haven't really
Yep.
been able to find one that I haven't liked. But that's not really that's for lack of trying. I'm sure I could find
Yeah.
one that would click with me and I connect with more. So that's a realm that I feel like if I had gotten into them when I was younger, I would have loved them.
Yeah.
And I think now as
Fair.
I'm getting
Yep.
older, like so many games to play, it's harder for me to dedicate
Yep.
like, okay, I'm putting all this time into this one game, but I'd love to find that one that really clicks with me, and really
For
get into
sure,
that.
for sure. Yeah, I'm similar in that vein. I really enjoy the story driven, but I have played like Power Word is fun. You
Hmm.
gotta, build bases and stuff. It's a good time.
Hmm.
Yeah, try Pal World. That was the first survival crafting game that I had played because people had recommended like Valheim and there's like Conan Exiles and stuff.
Hmm.
And then I jumped in to Pal World just because it was on Game Pass and I was like, "Oh, I'll give it a shot." And I got so addicted and then from there I was like, I have to play every survival crafting game. And so then I got really into Enshrouded and put like 600
Oh,
hours
cool.
into that.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
and that happens with some of these different genres that I venture into. Like, what? Don't worry, we'll talk about Baldur's Gate later. But I I played Baldur's Gate, and after I finished that, there was like this big hole in my chest that I needed to fill. And I was like, okay, now I gotta play every CRPG, and so I just went
Hmm.
off and
Hmm.
played all these other ones. But I think Pal World is by far the best introduction you could possibly get to like the survival
Okay.
crafting base building realm.
Okay. That's good
And
to
then
know.
yeah, and then from there you can really go into any of them and at least know what you're supposed to do, like what the
Hmm.
loop is, like what the game is expecting you to do. But yeah, Pal World, excellent one. And I think it would be like it's not difficult. So I
Hmm.
think Ellie would really enjoy it and she would feel accomplished playing it, I think.
Okay. That's good to know. I think that's maybe one problem I've had is that I've never really found the game or a game that's a good jumping off point for the genre.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
hearing you say that that's kind of maybe a good gateway drug into the genre, like that's very encouraging.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so speaking of, hitting things kind of at the right time and the right like waves with the algorithm, right now and in the past, what has been your strategy for kind of gaming the algorithm? Are you more like evergreen content or trying to stay immediately relevant? What are your thoughts on that?
It's a great question. I mean, back in the early days, I just ignored it completely. I was just posting any game that I wanted to talk about and quickly learned. I was very humbled that, turns out people didn't want to hear about some indie game from 8 years prior that I really liked.
Yeah.
So
I know.
you kind of
I
had to,
hate the reality of that.
it's
Yeah.
it's it's tough. It's tough. So, obviously I adapted over the years, but I think generally I've tried to drive the channel with the personalities as opposed to the games. I think
Mm,
I never wanted to predicate the channel on a particular series or game or genre. I've
Yeah.
always wanted to compel people with either myself or Ellie or the combination of both of us.
yeah.
Um, and so it's just kind of been feeling out what resonates. And then if that does, then repeat. Like last summer, spring, summer, I was really struggling. The channel was not doing very well. It wasn't growing at all, really. After a couple of like periods of exciting growth, it had really stalled. And so that's about when the Switch 2 came out. So I picked up the Switch 2 and we just tried the first Zelda game, the
Mm,
original. And that did well enough that I was like, let's try the next one and the next one.
mm,
And it just took off. So then it's like, okay, now we know Zelda works. So what other
yeah.
Nintendo franchises might work? And just kind of trying to just keep trying all these different games. And if one works, then we can go back to that game. We can try that series again. But I've found that we've had the most success and the channel in general with games that are older. We've
Mm,
Yeah.
hmm.
more rarely have we tried a breaking game. This game just came out. Like we've done that on a few occasions. For the most part, those videos have not done very well. And that may just be
Yeah.
that we're not big enough to compete with a lot of the bigger creators that are in
Sure.
that space covering that game when it first releases. But I think we've come to find that a lot of the older stuff can be more to our advantage. But again, I think there's a lot of room to grow with regard to new releases too. I think I
Yeah.
just haven't always done the best job of making the right, because it's not just about what game are you covering, it's about how are you covering that game. So you have to
Yes.
cover the right game at the right time in the right way. And so it's like we had Ellie try Ocarina of Time last year. The video did
Yeah.
really well, but I also made a video essay about Ocarina of Time that did way better and it's my best
Yeah.
video, the most successful video of all time. So there's so many variables that can be very frustrating.
Yeah, for sure. Your Ocarina video, it has a great thumbnail. It's very nostalgic. The title's very
Mm,
nostalgic. It just fits that like Ocarina retrospective kind of feeling video
mm.
essay, and I think that that a lot of people like to watch those because we're all
It
very
seems like it.
nostalgic.
Yeah, we love to celebrate the things that we love. And that video, like, I didn't have big expectations for that video. I just made it because I wanted to, and I love that game. And then it started off really strongly. And to this day, you speak about, evergreen versus more ephemeral. And that video has never stopped getting like 1,000 views every day since I posted it. And since the Ocarina remake was revealed, it's gotten like 40,000 views in the last 5 days. So it
Yeah.
finding content like that is truly evergreen is kind of the gold,
Hmm.
the gold treasure beneath all of this. Like if you could find that, it's amazing. And I think a lot of what we've made, most stuff that you're going to put on YouTube is going to be more short term. It's going to have
Yeah.
its day in the sun. It's 15 minutes, if you will, and then it'll kind of fizzle out. Finding stuff that can really last and persist is extremely hard. Like, for example, I made a video about Super Mario 64, same format, same title and thumbnail structure, exactly the same as that Ocarina video. That video has like 11,000 views, which is awesome. But the
Hmm.
Ocarina one has 420,000 views. And so it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the same structure, two different games, both classics, both beloved.
Mm.
One
Yep.
just can't compete with the other. So,
Interesting.
you know, it can be very frustrating that you can understand certain elements as to what makes a video successful or not successful, but then just switching up one variable. I guess the problem is that it's impossible to change one variable because even in that
Yeah.
Mario video, I kept so many things consistent, but it's still a different game, and I
Yep.
posted it at a different time.
Mm.
Different
Yeah.
time for Mario. Maybe Mario is not as much in the conversation as Zelda was at that moment. So
Right.
I think I've learned that there is no way to game the algorithm, as it were. There's no way to really peel it back and expose it for what it is. It is too complex for that. I think
Yeah.
I've just learned that if generally if you cover a more popular game, you are going to get more views. I mean, there are certain sort of rules that you can follow, but I've just tried to lead with um, creating a community and a space that people resonate with so that when they do find it, even if it takes
Yeah.
them a while to find it, they don't want to leave and they feel
Yeah.
comfortable sticking around. I think if you lead with trying to capture each trend as it unfolds, you can certainly build something around that. But I think it might not be as durable as if you
Yeah.
take your time and sort of lead with a certain human connection, I suppose, over the headlines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like you said, creating your own community is huge, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what like the big streamers do. Is that's why people watch them, right? They're a community of people that go see this guy play a game, whatever game, it doesn't matter.
They're
They're
there for the
there
Yeah,
person.
yeah, they're there for
that's
the
exactly
person.
right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And I think
Yep.
that's a very challenging journey. It's hard to
Yeah.
get there. It's hard to amass this group of
Yeah.
people that enjoy what you're doing, not just
Yep.
you as the person who's playing Ocarina of Time. It's very challenging, but I think it's very rewarding. And I think that I think that's the key to, I see all these different YouTube education channels and all these different videos, and there's valuable information to glean from that. I really
Yeah.
do think that there is, but at the end of the day, I think the secret is just, yes, you need to talk about something that other people care about to get them in the door. But once they're in the room, just as if someone had come into your home, offer them a drink,
Yep.
Yeah.
show
Yep.
them around, ask them questions about themselves. Like, just people just want to connect with other human beings. And I don't think the discipline really matters. And
Yeah.
making videos about video games on YouTube may sound like an impersonal pursuit, but it's not. You can get to
Yeah.
know people through that just as you would being a musician traveling around the country
Yep.
playing shows for people. So I think
Yeah.
that's the X factor, is getting people to come for you. And that's not an easy thing to do. But I think, again, if you just lead with a genuine curiosity for the people that watch you, if you have a genuine care for the people that watch, it will come naturally.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's, what I like most about your live streams is both you and Ellie kind of, I mean, you respond to most comments that are coming through the stream, which is really impressive. When there's
Thank
the
you.
stream, the comments are just going like I don't know how you do it, but somehow, I mean, you must answer, like, I would say probably like 80% of the comments that are going through there, if not more.
We certainly try. Yeah, it's I appreciate you saying that, because it's a big priority, and it's funny too, because every once in a while I'll go back and I'll watch like the VOD of a particular stream, and I see how much I missed, and I'm like, damn, there's just really no way to do it.
Yeah,
It's
it's too
and then you have
much.
no control over it at that point. But
Yep.
I
Yeah.
think I always like specifically speaking to live streams. It's kind of what we were just talking about. Someone comes into a live stream, yes, because the game seems interesting. That's the first thing. They come in initially because they like the game. From that point on, you either can win them over and invest them in the person, or they will look at the game a little bit and they'll go. And I
Yeah.
think there's no better there's no better avenue to really connect with someone than a live stream, because you can talk to them right there, right then and there,
Yeah.
and I think it gives you this chance to, like, I started streaming back when I was in college, like 11 years ago. I took a big gap between then and now, but I
Yeah.
did it for years over there. And I think the traction I got was just because I was always talking. I was always talking as
Yeah.
if there were already 100 people in there. And when somebody new came in, it's like, I was like, who are you? What do you like to play? What do you
Yep.
do? Like, all these different, I was genuinely, I just find human beings so fascinating. I just love
Yeah.
getting to know people. I
Yeah.
think we're just fascinating creatures. And, so I would ask people questions, and then they would stick around, and it became a community as opposed to a stream or
Yeah.
a venue for this new game to be shown.
Yeah.
And I think that specifically with that medium, the live stream, like, that is the key. So when we're sitting there streaming, to me, the priority is always the chat and the interaction
Yeah.
between us and the chat. The game is truly secondary. That gets people in the
Yeah.
door. And of course,
Right.
we're going to play the game. And it's important to
Yeah.
me that we keep the game moving. I know that's what people want to see. But that, to me, is the TV show on in the background for the water cooler discussion. It's
Yeah.
just the venue upon which we get to know each other. So
Right.
I think that, I've gone into streams in the past where there's not that, and that people don't engage with those that are talking to them, and it's hard to do. No criticism or condemnation of someone who doesn't, but I think
Yeah.
that's the key. That's the key to growth, is really engaging with people, genuinely engaging with them.
For sure. Everybody wants to be heard, and it means so
Yeah.
much to people when they are. That is like so important, so
Mhm.
important. So
Yeah,
that's
I think it's perfect. I mean, you put it perfectly, Gabe. Like people just want to be heard, you know? I mean, and
Mhm.
again, to what you alluded to earlier, Spencer, like many people will come through a stream because they're not having a good period of life. I mean, they're just maybe they have gone through a breakup, maybe they've lost a job,
Mhm.
maybe they've lost a family member, and they're looking for just a little connection, but they don't have it in them
Yeah.
to go out to the
yeah,
bar.
Right.
They don't
Yeah.
have it in them to
yes,
go, socialize with people. They just need a little something. And I think that
Yes.
um, people look at live streaming, I think very cynically, and it's made fun of a lot. And you see all these people that are doing ridiculous things, streaming out on the street and
Right.
yeah,
badgering
Yeah.
people
yeah,
and stuff like that. Like people look at it very cynically, but I think it's really a chance to connect with people. It's sort of a facsimile of like really going and meeting with someone in person, but it beats the alternative, which is nothing, And I think
yeah,
it's an opportunity to really connect. I don't know. And it helps me
Yeah.
too. I've had bad nights and I'm faking a smile when I start a stream, but by
Right.
the end of the stream, I'm really genuinely
yeah,
smiling because it
Right.
for
pulled me out
sure.
of that bad day.
Yep.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, that's why I like. Are you familiar with Wolfheart FPS
I feel like
on
maybe that
YouTube?
rings a bell. I don't know.
He's kind of a big YouTuber streamer, specifically in the like RPG space. I think those are really the only games he plays are like hardcore RPGs,
Hmm.
and he does maybe like 2 or 3 streams a night, and he does them really late. So he'll start at probably 7 o'clock my time, which, if he's on the East Coast, would be 10 o'clock for him. And so, he's streaming like late into the night. And sometimes, when I'm up late at night, I'm just like, I don't know, I just kind of want like someone to talk to or something to kind of have on or whatever. And so it's always nice just to pop into his live streams. It doesn't matter what he's playing. I'm just there to hear him talk about the game and chat with people in the chat and
Hmm.
everything. And it's so nice just to like have something on, and he does a pretty good job of like responding to people's comments and stuff too. And it's just kind of nice to feel like somebody's there sometimes, because I feel
Mm.
like, I don't know, I feel like gaming, unless you're like a Call of Duty like online gamer, gaming can be like a pretty isolated thing sometimes.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so sometimes it's nice just to have like a live stream on or whatever.
Totally. Totally, man. Yeah, it really is.
Does Ellie does Ellie ever get upset when you're paying more attention to the chat than the game or her? Like, does she
I
like,
mean,
no, help me with the thing?
yeah, I think, what's been really challenging, and again, I commend Ellie so much. When I started streaming, of course, like way back in the day, nobody was watching me. I had no camera. It was a headset with a mic and literally nobody watching me. And so I got to very slowly ease my way in to the process. Ellie and I streamed for the first time together last year, and we had over 100 people, like concurrent viewers at a certain point.
Yeah,
This girl has
Mm.
never done this in her life. She's trying to play Hollow Knight. People are
Oh God,
talking, people are telling her what to
yeah.
do. Like it was all of this. And
Oh,
so
that had to be frustrating.
I'm sure it was very overwhelming for her. And we've had conversations. I mean, we've had a couple of streams where it's overwhelming for her. It's overwhelming
Yeah,
to
yeah,
play this game. I'm talking to the chat about stuff that she doesn't even understand because she's not
yep,
as in the gaming zeitgeist as we might be. So, and then she's struggling with the game. I'm not helping her because I'm so focused on the chat because it's moving so
right,
quickly. It's a lot. And we've had to talk about how we navigate that to facilitate the chat's having fun, I'm having fun, and Ellie's having fun. We have to
yep,
find a way to
right.
make sure that everybody's enjoying themselves at the same time.
Yeah,
And that, frustration is inevitable with the games, but I think we've worked out a better system to kind of make sure that she doesn't feel overwhelmed because it's easy for me. I'm just sitting there talking with people. Uh, Fast as it may be moving, I'm just sitting there talking. Ellie has the controller in her hands, and
right.
yeah,
so she's trying to play. I'm trying to tell her, give her a tip. This person has a question for her about her history with gaming, and she's trying to talk about it. I mean, it's just I have years and years of practice with this that she does not have. So I think she's just done an amazing job of rolling with the punches because it's not an easy thing to do.
Right.
yeah. And the cool part about that too is that as you continue, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get like
Hmm.
easier
Hmm.
for her.
Hmm.
It's uh, I don't know. I guess you get more used to something, and it
Yeah.
goes smoother. I guess.
Totally, 100%. I've already
Yeah.
seen, she's gotten a lot more. And, she's mentioned like when I've streamed alone on occasion, she's got FOMO. She wants to come in and see what's going on,
Oh
So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
I
cool.
think
That's
I think
awesome.
at first it was intimidating, and I totally get it. Totally get it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot, but I think she's grown. It's grown on her, and it's just kind of a part of our weekly routine now. I think it'd be kind of weird
Yeah,
if we didn't do it. So
that's so cool.
For
That's so
sure.
yeah,
awesome.
Okay, a couple quick content creation questions. We'll go into some more
sure,
like random
yeah.
stuff. There was a great question from last night's live stream, and I wanted to dig into it further than you guys did in this. Obviously, we've already mentioned so many comments are coming in. You gotta, only you can only give so much attention to one comment.
I know, man.
Um,
It's painful. It's painful. I hate moving on
Yeah,
so fast, but it's like
yeah,
we're gonna lose it if we don't keep it moving.
al- Also, though, there's been some great comments that have sparked like 20-minute conversations on your live
Yes.
streams. Like there was somebody that had commented, uh, remind me if you remember, it was something about people judging a YouTuber, like when somebody streams with their significant other, people
Hmm.
will judge that relationship based on what they're seeing in the video or the live stream. Be like,
Hmm.
oh, they
Hmm.
hate
Hmm.
each other, or he's not a good
Right.
boyfriend, or she's not a good girlfriend, or whatever. And that I remember being in that live stream, and we were talking about that for like 20-30 minutes about the
Yeah.
outside perspective of relation. It was such a cool conversation.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's so funny. Like we've had it's weird. It feels like a stream will always start out a little more surface level, a little more fun, light, talking about video games, and then there's often this point like 3 hours into it where for some
yeah,
reason it just gets deep, and we
yep,
just start
yeah,
talking about something that has nothing to do with games or maybe tangentially related to the channel or
sure,
something. And I love those moments. I always love, like it used to happen to me back in the day. I love deep conversations. I love talking
yeah,
about emotions and experiences and just humanity. And so when
hmm,
stuff like that comes up, it can definitely kind of hijack
yeah,
the pacing because I just can't help
yeah.
but to really dig into it. But I love moments
Well,
like that.
it was so good because usually when I'm listening to your live stream, I'm usually playing a game or I'm walking my dog, and I'll kind of tune in and out. I'll listen
Mhm.
for like 15 minutes at a time, and then I'll set it down and go do something, and then come back and listen for another 15-20 minutes. And then when that conversation came up, I was like, oh. And I'm just like sitting there like listening to it for like the whole time. It was so
Yeah,
great. I love when that kind of stuff comes up. But
me too,
in
man.
last night's live stream, somebody asked, "What would you do if unbound by YouTube's algorithm or metrics?
Mm.
Like what videos would you want to make if viewership wasn't an issue? Like if you knew people were going to show up in the dozens of thousands, what videos would you like to make?"
It's a great question. Yeah, I would have loved to have dug even deeper with this last night. I think that the biggest effect of the sort of the view expectation and the need for ad revenue, like it just makes me jump around to games so quickly and
Hmm.
with such a fervor, trying to just find the next thing that's going to be a hit. And then
Yeah.
okay, how do we can we make another video about that? Can we do a sequel? Can we stream it? Like I'm constantly kind of jumping around, and I will always look back in hindsight and I'm like, why did I do it in that order? Like why didn't I do the whole series at once? Or, why didn't
Hmm.
I stop and just focus on that game for a little bit? Why did I move on
Right.
so fast? So I think I'm ultimately very lucky in that from a structural perspective and a conceptual perspective, I would be doing the same thing I'm doing now if views
yeah,
didn't matter. I've kind of found that intersection of what I want to make and what people want to watch. And we're in that, that we're in
Yeah.
that happy zone. But I think that I would love to be more systematic and thoughtful about Ellie's journey. Like I love the idea of just taking Ellie through the medium. So we start with a lot of retro. Like one of my favorite things we ever did was cover most of the Zelda games because we could start with the original and then Link to the Past and then
Hmm.
N64 and GameCube, and it was so fun to
Yeah.
unfold this series for her. One of the most
What's the next
fun,
one?
not intended, legendary series. Yeah,
yeah,
like it was so fun. I loved doing that. And we were lucky because those videos were doing well. So it was easy for me to sit back and let us do that. But
Yeah.
the Mario games, for example, we've gone through those. Loved it every bit as much. those videos didn't always do as well. So I was like, we
Mm.
just can't do two Mario videos in a row. We need to find a better, more successful
Yeah.
video to pump up the numbers a little bit here. So I think it would
Yeah.
just give me the luxury of just taking our time. I have tons of games that I love that nobody cares about, and
Hmm.
are very, very niche. We could try those. Like I would love to have that, the ability to ultimately just take a breath. I think one of the hardest parts about this process in the pursuit of it as a full-time career
Hmm.
is that you can never take a breath. Like I feel
Yeah.
Yeah.
like this month, June, it's going very well. We're having a very nice month, but like the new video is doing fine, but not particularly well. It's a little
Sure.
sluggish, and my expectations, it's doing here. My expectations were maybe up here. And so then
Yeah.
that casts a shadow over my day. Even though everything's fine, everything's going fine, the channel's doing fine,
Yeah.
it's like there's such a recency bias. It's like, how did the last 24 hours go? That's going to define the way that I feel right now. Even
Mm.
if the two preceding weeks were the best the channel's ever had, you have that
Right.
quick dopamine hit and you're proud of yourself, but then you're like, well, now I have to top this somehow. And that, how am I going to do that? And so
Hmm.
I think it would really just unencumber me from that feeling. Finally, you can just take a breath. And I think maybe that's an illusion, because I know bigger creators will say, I'm all the way up here and I still get upset when I post a video and it underperforms. Even if that
Yeah.
video got 100,000 views, if I'm used to 500,000, then that
Yep.
sucks.
Yeah.
I can't fathom feeling that way. I feel like if we're ever that big, there's no way I could be disappointed. But who knows? I get disappointed now with 10,000 views, and I didn't
Yeah.
think that would have been possible. So I would
Yeah.
love to just have that pressure lifted.
Yeah.
I'm so with you. We would be so happy with 10,000 views. We have, I think, one or two videos that have hit around that number, and
Hmm.
they're both Harry Potter videos. Harry Potter does really, really well on our channel.
Hmm.
I completely burnt out all of my co-hosts on Harry
Yeah,
Potter
did.
because I was like, we have to make Harry Potter content. And by the end of it, they were like, I don't ever want to fucking see Harry Potter or his owl ever again. and so it's tough when something like that does so unbelievably well to the numbers I
Hmm.
was seeing. I'm like, I didn't know we could do these kind of numbers. All of our Harry Potter videos have done really, really well. But even though I live and breathe Harry Potter, I love that series. The rest of the co-hosts don't, they want to move on to the next thing. They don't necessarily want to talk about Harry Potter anymore. And I totally get that. I'm just a little bit crazy. And so I think it's tough, especially when Gabe and I interviewed Jim Butcher recently, and for anyone that's not aware, he's the author of the Dresden Files, very, very famous book series. By far the biggest name author that we've had on.
Nice.
We had to go through like his publishing house and got sent around to like multiple different people that we had to talk to.
Oh,
And
wow. That's awesome.
yeah, it was a real like working through the system to get the interview with the author kind of thing. And that video did really, really well. And I remember the night I posted it and scheduled it for the next day, I was thinking, this video is going to do really, really well. And then it's going to be another like 2 or 3 months of being really disappointed by the numbers of
Hmm.
any video that precedes it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
There's no way to compete with having like an author interview of like an author who's that big of a name. It would be like having George R. R. Martin on the channel or something. Like there's like how will any of my other videos compete with that? And so I had to just go about the next couple weeks knowing that the next videos were not going to do as well as that and just be okay with it. And it was tough. It was really
Hmm.
tough.
Yeah, yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's a blessing and a curse to get a spike, a viral moment. And that's
Yeah.
always relative. Viral, just from my perspective, is bigger than you normally get. It's like it doesn't
Yep.
matter
Hmm.
how many views it is. It's an anomaly relative to your standard, and that is such a rush. I mean, I'll never forget the
Hmm.
first time I really had that. I was on cloud nine, and the problem, of course, then becomes, you want to top what you've done. You know that that's possible. You know you can
Right.
post a 10,000 view video. So
Right.
now you want to top it. And I think that the chase of that is thrilling and it's part of what keeps you going, but it's also exhausting. And I
Yeah.
Yeah.
think that I think burns more people out of the, just to say the YouTube journey, to be specific with a platform, than anything else is getting like, because when you first start, your expectations are small,
Yeah.
and I remember the first time I posted a video that got like 30, 40 views, I was so genuinely so excited.
Yeah.
And so at the time, that's great. And that's not very hard to top. You could make a video that
Mhm.
gets 60 views, and then you can make one that
Right.
gets 150 views. And as that happens every time, that's your new best ever. That's your best
Right.
ever. That's a huge accomplishment. The more that you do that, the harder it becomes to top. And eventually you're going to hit a real spike. Whoa, that was 5,000 views. That's huge.
Hmm.
That is not going to be replicable consistently. It's
Yeah.
just
Right.
not. And so you may go 6 months, as you kind of alluded to that, Spencer. You may go 12 months without topping a big hit. And I think
Yeah.
that's what kills people. I think that is so hard to trust. Like right now, I mean, the channel, relatively speaking, is in a kind of a views slump, as I've mentioned.
Hmm.
For other people, it would be a big, big moment for them, but
Right.
it's all relative. And so
Yeah.
I think that's when that's when the passion really comes into play, because you have got to be obsessed with whatever it is that you're talking about. I love video games enough that it will push me through the periods where I'm not feeling good about the channel,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I love games enough that it's like, well, I got to talk about this game. I feel obligated to go talk to
Yeah.
this audience about this game because I love it that much.
Right.
Um, that's what pulls you through the swamp of stagnancy, which is just, it's hard. It affects me almost every day. It's very, very
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. That man, that was such a great way to put it. I was just like listening to
Thank
him
you.
like, yes, I agree with all of this. Yeah, it's like when you find something you're passionate about talking about, it kind of like for us it doesn't really matter. Like we're not doing this full time. It's not like the channel doing well or not doing well is not going to break us. And I'm typically like, if there's something I and the other co-hosts really want to talk about, if it's even if it's not going to do super super well, like let's just do it because we're just having fun.
Hmm.
But for somebody that's doing it full time, it's got to be such a such a different animal of like, I want to do the things that are going to bring me joy, but I also want to do like what's going to do numbers. And that's got to be super tough. But as long as you're in my optimistic mindset, I'm like, as long as you're talking about something that brings you joy and that comes through on camera, other people are going to enjoy it
Yeah.
as well.
Totally agree with that. That's very well said.
So going back to it real quick, I was just gonna say the original question was, what would you do if unbound by YouTube's algorithm and metrics? I think for us, and Gabe, you can answer this as far as like, I don't know, things that you would like to do, but I think for me, I Gabe and I are both huge gamers. We're like, our two main things are fantasy books and video games. And I almost wish that I had started the channel as like just kind of a general like nerd culture kind of channel rather
Mm.
than specifically fantasy books, because now I'm finding, especially in the last year, I've wanted to make so much content on video games, but it never does well on the channel. I remember
Mm.
I put like 40 or 50 hours into a video on Horizon Forbidden West. And I played through the game. I captured all the footage. I, exported it onto my computer from my PlayStation because I didn't have a I didn't have a gaming computer at the time. And I like edited all the footage down. I did a voiceover over all of it, edited the whole thing together. And it took so long, and I was so proud of this video. And within the first 6 months of that video, I don't even know when it's out. I don't like to look at it. But with the first 6 months that the video was out, it did 40 views.
Mm.
And I was like, I put so much time into that video. It's such a good video as far as like editing and the way that it all flows together. But it did so poorly on our channel. But I
Mm.
would love to, if I wasn't bound by YouTube metrics and stuff, I would do way more video game stuff. I would also do, you kind of talked about this earlier, is like indie stuff. Um, I would do way more. I mean, when we started out, we were doing a lot of like indie books. We would showcase a lot of like indie fantasy books, and that's how we made a lot of friends in the space and whatnot.
Mm.
But those videos just do not do well. Even if my title is like the book you've never heard about that you will love, or like the book that is secretly a hidden gem or something, trying to get people in, people are like, oh, if I don't know the name of it, then I don't care. And so
Mhm,
it's like
mhm.
we kind of have to stick to books that people know, like Dresden Files, Harry Potter, King Killer, anything by Jay Kristoff, like
He Who Fights with Monsters.
He Who Fights with Monsters. I would love to. We Break Immortals is one of my favorite books of all time, and it's an indie book that nobody knows about, but nobody
Mm,
wants to see a video on it. And so I'm like,
right.
I would love to do more of that stuff because I read indie books all the time, but yeah, it's just tough. It's tough out there. All right, you guys know what we got to talk about. We got to talk about the Ocarina remake. Oh
Yes.
my God. Initial thoughts, Wilson and Gabe?
Good question. I think for me, my initial thought is that I just want to see more of it. I'm bummed that it was just a tease.
Mm-hmm.
Given that it leaked, I feel like that kind of took the wind out of the sails of a teaser trailer.
I didn't see the
Um,
leak, so I was completely surprised
oh,
that it
that's
was leaked.
awesome, man. I envy you. I wish I were in that boat. I saw the leaks and I felt like they were probably true. So it robbed me of the thrill of it. I wish we could have
Mm,
seen more, but just the fact that it exists, very exciting. I'm stoked to see some gameplay.
yeah. Gabe?
Yeah, same. I think that was well said. I mean, if they do it well, I mean, I think it's going to take everything by storm.
Did
Yeah.
you have you played the like N64 version or
I
anything,
have,
Gabe? Yeah,
yes.
you have. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I Gabe can attest to this. I've been saying for years because Gabe has owned like the Switch. I didn't have a Switch for a long time. Matter of fact, the one that I have is his. I gave
It's
it
yours now. But yeah,
and yeah, I grabbed it from him just so I could try Breath of the Wild. And Breath of the Wild, I I like Breath of the
I
Wild.
love Breath of the Wild.
But for me, so Ocarina of Time is pretty much the first video game I ever really played on a serious level. Before then, I had played like, I don't know, 2D Mario with my aunt, just kind of playing it as a kid and passing the controller back and forth. But Ocarina of Time was the first video game that we actually bought, and I sat down from beginning to end and I'm like, I'm gonna figure this out and play this all the way through. And like it was the first time, and it was also the thing that introduced me to fantasy. Before then,
Oh,
I
nice.
I had never like there was Pokemon, but there like I had never been into fantasy at all. And so Ocarina of Time was the first time where I was like, oh, I kind of like swords and bows and magic and all these different creatures and, this weird world and how all of this works together. It was the first time I had ever really been introduced to any of that. And we probably wouldn't have this channel today without it, honestly, if I hadn't,
Mhm.
if it hadn't jump started my love of fantasy that way. But Gabe can attest, I've been saying for years, I'm like, the way that Nintendo can get as much money out of me as they want, because typically I don't buy Nintendo. I don't play a lot of Nintendo properties. Zelda is pretty much it. I'm like, the way that they can just extract as much money from me as they want is by releasing an Ocarina of Time remaster or remake, just some way for me to play it in the modern day with like more modern controls and stuff like that. I like blank check written to Nintendo, write $4,000 on it for all I care. Like I will pay you any amount of money. Just whatever Nintendo wants, I will give it to them for an Ocarina remake. And so yeah, I'm just amazed. I could not be happier. And seeing that it's coming in 2026, do we think it gets
Mm,
pushed? Do we think it lands, it like actually lands in
I don't know,
2026?
but if it does,
It's got to
I
be Christmas, right?
yeah, it would have to be the like very end of the year.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you
yeah,
think?
I don't know. I think it hits this year. I think Nintendo's probably very confident. I think they're not putting a date on it because they might be waiting to see if GTA 6 truly sticks to its
Yeah,
November
that's a
19th
very
date or
good
whatever it
point.
is.
Very good point.
So maybe if it does, it's a December game. If it doesn't, it's a November game or an October game or something. So I think they want to have flexibility with regard to the specific release date, which I would bet money they don't know yet. But I think they know. I mean, I think if Nintendo doesn't release Ocarina of Time this year, they lack a substantive first party holiday release. And
Mm,
that's in the context of the Switch 2's price going up in September. So they need the kind of thing that you're describing, Spencer, the kind of game that people will write a blank check for
yeah.
because they've got the headwinds are pushing against them this holiday season with that price increase and GTA 6, not a ton of overlap necessarily, but there is some. It's going to suck a lot of the air out of the industry for the next like 3 months or plus.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they need their ace in the hole. And what better ace in the hole than a remake of, arguably the most legendary, well
Yeah.
received game of all time?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can't imagine a Nintendo fan that even my friend that was in here in the chat earlier, we were talking the other day when this news got released, and she doesn't have a Switch 2. I don't even have a Switch 2, but we're gonna go get one. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
and we're even like, I was even telling her, I know she's such a huge Ocarina fan. I'm like if you need help getting a Switch 2, I will help you get a Switch 2. This is such a legendary like release. It's like let's just make sure we can both play it, whatever that takes. Like whatever amount of money we need to throw at this thing. And I think that if I'm feeling that way, somebody who is not a Nintendo fan, I have to imagine that the Nintendo fans, like the main fan base, is probably twice as excited as I am. And
Mm,
they're all going to run. I think we're going to have issues getting Switch 2s this winter. I think this game, singularly this game, is going to move Switch 2s in a way that we've never seen a console move sales wise before. I really think that they're going to sell out of Switch 2s.
Yeah, yeah. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly.
yeah.
I don't know. It's such a legendary game. I don't know. I just can't imagine. Maybe it's just me being in a bubble where I just love this game so much, but I don't think it is. I think people are gonna go nuts over this.
I think you're right. I think you're right, Spencer. I mean, this is a system seller. I mean,
Yeah.
Nintendo has a few franchises, a new Zelda game, a new 3D Mario game, a new true Pokemon game, maybe a new Super Smash Brothers or a new Animal Crossing. I mean, they have a few franchises that are certainties. So then to remake the generally the most beloved, maybe Breath of the Wild is in that conversation, but
Yeah.
generally most beloved entry in their most beloved franchise. I mean, it's just I think again, I think they know it's we got a rough patch ahead with these price increases. What can we do?
Yeah.
And we've seen Capcom has been killing it with the Resident Evil remakes. So I
Yeah,
think the industry at large knows like remakes work. People will buy if you really
Yeah.
make a from the ground up remake. People will come out for that. I certainly will. I'd buy an
Yeah.
HD remaster of Ocarina of Time, and I think we know
Yeah.
this is going to be
Same.
much more than that. So
yeah,
I think they are certain that this is the kind of thing that they need. And clearly, I would argue the back half of the year from a first party perspective is a little sparse for the Switch 2 this year. So while they're still cooking the next proper Zelda game, Mario, Smash, whatever the case may be, I mean, this is the perfect stopgap that I think you're right. I think this will end up being one of the best selling titles on the Switch 2. I think
Yeah.
it's a huge system seller. I mean, we're looking at 20 million plus units of this thing in the grand scheme
yeah,
Yeah.
of things by the end of the Switch 2's lifespan. I would guess.
Yeah.
yeah.
For sure. Do you think it I don't know if anything is going to sell as well as GTA 6, but do you think that
Mm.
it's in the same bracket as far as like best 3 sellers of the year, like game sales of the year?
I think it will rank amongst worst case scenario, the top 10 best selling games of the year. I think it very well may be in the top five. You have those NBA 2K, Madden, whatever that kind of
Oh
always fill
Yeah.
it
yeah.
out. But I almost don't even count those games because it's kind of like
I
whatever.
know.
It's like counting sports games and television ratings. It's like it's a
Yep.
Yeah.
known quantity. I think if we distill it down past that, yeah, I think it's going to be up there. I do not think it'll be as big as GTA 6. I don't think anything will.
Right.
Also, that of course has the benefit of being a multi-platform release, and this is not only is it a Nintendo exclusive, but
Yeah.
it's only on the Switch too. I mean, if we're
It's only
counting
on the
Switch
Switch too.
One as well,
Yeah.
then that's a whole nother story. But this is a Switch 2 exclusive, still an infant system, just now a
Yeah.
year old. So, but I think again, I think Nintendo's had some heavy hitters so far with the Switch too. We had Mario Kart World, you had Donkey Kong Bonanza, you had Pokemon Legends Z to A, whatever it's called. I mean, they've had some of their franchises come out, but this is a big game. I mean, this is massive, and I think if anything, we may be underestimating how impactful it'll be. I think it'll be Nintendo, as you said, hardcore Nintendo fans. I mean, they were probably sobbing at that trailer. I mean, that
Yeah.
this is a
Yeah.
big
I
one.
was
Yeah.
crying while I was
I
watching
was
it. I
getting
was
I was
like,
getting
no
close, man.
fucking way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a big one, man. It's exciting. I'm
Yeah.
really excited to play this game. I can't wait.
What do
Yeah.
you what do you guys think it is? Like what do you think they change? Do you think they add Breath of the Wild mechanics into it? I kind of hope they keep it pretty vanilla but update everything.
I would probably think that they're gonna change some stuff. Maybe just like quality
Stamina?
quality of life stuff, maybe that was lacking.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know how you are though with staying absolutely true to the
I'm open to modernity as long
yeah.
as they don't change the story. The
Oh yeah.
story is
Mm,
always the thing I care
Yes.
about. I don't like
Yes.
gameplay, they can mess around with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool to see some Breath of the Wild,
Like if
mechanic
you could climb.
climb
mhm.
or yeah, stuff like that. That would be cool.
Yeah. What about you, Wilson? What do you think they throw in there?
It's a great question. I mean, I think they have free reign to do whatever they want to do. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's an internal studio at Nintendo that's working on this, a studio at the very least that Nintendo owns, like the
Yeah.
Star Fox remake, for example, they're outsourcing that. They're not outsourcing this game. So they have carte
Mm.
blanche to do what they please. I know with a game like this, there's going to be some level of hesitation to change too much because it's such a legendary game. But
Yes.
again,
Yeah.
Capcom has proven that you can really radically change the original and people are going to love it if it's a great game. So, to
Yeah.
some degree, they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. You're never going to please everybody. There
Yeah.
will be people that will say it's lazy if all they do is change the graphical, makeup.
Sure.
There will be people that will get incredibly pissed off if they change the gameplay from a fundamental perspective because they don't want it to change. So I think Nintendo knows that. It knows that it will never please everyone. So I think they're probably trying to facilitate the highest number of sales possible. And they've
Yeah.
seen that Breath and Tears have been massively successful.
Mm.
I don't think they're going to change it fundamentally to become an open world game. I don't think they're going to
Yeah.
take it that far. I think that would upset
Mm.
more people than it would please, probably. But I think we may see traversal changes. We may see more flexibility with regard to dungeon order or something like that. But I think most likely it's going to be relatively safe. I don't think they want to take too many crazy risks. Maybe they
Sure.
throw out a new dungeon or something. Maybe there's plenty. I mean, Ellie, has just been playing through it, so it's very fresh on my mind. There's plenty of moments that puzzle wasn't communicated that well, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
of course it sucks to pause the game to change into your iron boots. I mean, they already fixed that
Oh
in the 3DS
yeah.
version, but I
Oh,
think
did
Gabe, you
they?
said quality of life improvements. Like they're going to give us that stuff.
Yeah.
I hope that they're willing to just push a little further, push a little
Mm.
past what the 3DS version was, which was truly
Yeah.
just a remake of the assets and everything and some
Right.
quality of life. Like try something else. We have the original, we have the 3DS version. This is something new. This is mostly probably going to be played by people that didn't play the original. I mean, again, my video that's doing this big spike, a lot of that was from search based traffic. So people are looking up, is Ocarina of Time good?
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time. Like
Mm,
people have never played it before. So
yeah.
this
Mm.
is a chance to capture that new audience, that younger Nintendo demographic that is too
Yeah.
young to maybe even have the patience to play the N64 original. So I
Yeah.
hope that they, just take go out on a limb a little bit and risk
Yeah.
pissing people off, because this could be a new direction for Zelda. This might inspire new original Zelda games, which is a really
Yeah.
Right.
exciting prospect.
Yeah, I mean, like I wouldn't even mind like new side quests. You know, if
Hmm.
you're out exploring Hyrule Field and there's somebody getting attacked in the middle of the field, they're like, "Help me, Link!" And you go out
Yeah.
there and there's a little bit of a side quest thing. I wouldn't mind that. Adding more content, it would be welcome as long as it was extremely lore accurate to
Yeah.
Ocarina. Like if it fit within that world really well. If all of a sudden Zelda is kind of a badass warrior, but you know what I mean. Like if all of a sudden she was like your sidekick and like kicking ass with you, like fighting all these monsters, I'm like, okay, what are we doing? But if if it's Ocarina of Time with just more stuff, I wouldn't mind that really at all. I'm just hoping they don't add in like, not that it's not great in Breath of the Wild, but the all the different powers and stuff you have in Breath and Tears. I just don't want that in Ocarina. Like just give me the
Hmm.
bow, give me the boomerang, give me the sword. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't need the combining things and all that. Like that's all great. I just not in this game, please.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I think the biggest request that I have ultimately is that they maintain the sense of progression and letting
Mm.
you unfold the world, unfold your items. Like I love Breath of the Wild, I love Tears of the Kingdom, but one element of those games that I don't love is that you get all of your abilities within the first hour or
Yeah.
two, and then
Mm.
that's your suite of tools. And it's like, I love in Ocarina,
Yeah.
what is going to be the item in this dungeon? What do I get? Oh, I got to get a hook shot. Like that changes the
Yeah.
game. So
Yeah.
make more flexibility with regard to those items. Maybe now the hookshot will work on any surface, but
Yeah.
don't let me have the hookshot in Kokiri Village. Make me
Right.
earn it. I hope they maintain that kind of
Yeah.
cadence.
For sure. I mean, I think you guys were even mentioning in your live stream where she beat Ocarina, where Ellie beat Ocarina. There's these gauntlets that you get that let you throw
Hmm.
boulders over your
Yeah.
head. It's so cool. And I remember you guys saying, why did they give this to us in the last like 15 minutes of the game?
Yeah,
And
it's
so it'd be
very
cool if you
strange.
got that earlier and were able to
Yeah.
do little side quests and stuff with that. That'd be fun.
Totally. That'd be awesome.
Man, yeah, I don't even know what to expect. I'm so excited. Even if it was nothing has changed and it's just the game with brand new, a completely new graphical design and updated combat mechanics to what we would expect nowadays. Even if those were the only changes, I would still sell my dog to get this game. I would
I feel you,
sell
man.
Gabe's unborn child to get
Oh
this
my
game.
god. That's messed up. Really
And I'm
messed
the
up.
godfather, so here you go, Nintendo. Oh, I'm so excited. Um, okay, so do you think they do Majora's Mask? If this does well, like we're expecting, do they do Majora's Mask?
Good question. Good question.
I hope
I
so.
think, I mean, they're going to remake something else if this sells well, and it will.
Yeah.
So I think, this is the beginning of I mean, and of course they've remade, Link's Awakening or whatever, but this is the beginning of the formal 3D Zelda remakes. I don't think we're going
Yeah.
to get off this train once we get on it. So I would love Majora's Mask. I would love it if they would just go chronologically. Majora, Wind
Yeah.
Waker, Twilight Princess, just go through them all. Um, I think they
Yeah.
will. I totally think they will. And I hope that they do, because I think that's such a cool game.
Dude, what would a remake of Wind Waker even look like? That'd be so bizarre. Cuz it's almost like a timeless art style where if you change anything about the art style then it's not Wind Waker anymore.
True,
Um
true. Yeah.
Ocarina, the N64 Ocarina for the time was very realistic looking. Like it was very
Hmm.
like normal human proportions and hair and everything. Um, and yeah, changing Wind Waker would be odd, but I love Wind Waker. I love that game so much.
Mm. Yeah, it's a great one. And I guess they did, they had the Wii U HD version, which looked really
Hmm.
beautiful. I think it'd be so cool to see with modern technology how you intuit that cell
Yeah.
shaded style.
Right.
It's such a cool look.
Yeah. Gabe, do you play any remakes? Like, have you played any like the Resident Evil remakes, or do you like any other remakes that have come out recently?
The Last of Us, I played that
Yeah.
remake.
Okay.
I've never played any Resident Evil,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
like period. Well, actually, that's not true. I've played like some co-op Resident Evil with a friend back in the day, one of the
Mm.
older ones.
Hmm.
I don't know, man. Remakes, like,
Yeah.
legendary remakes, I guess. Uh,
Did you play Oblivion, the Oblivion remake?
I did. I never finished it, but I did play the Oblivion remake.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I really liked the Oblivion remake. I'm kind of at the age where like, well, no, I guess not. I usually say that about music. Music, I'm like, I hate all the new music that's coming out. I just want to listen to Blink 182 like I did in high school. With video games, I like a lot of new video games, but I also am extremely nostalgic for the games that I grew up with. And so I'm like,
Mm.
just remake all my favorite games. You don't need to make new stuff. Just make all the stuff I already like.
I need remakes of all the first original Assassin's Creed games. That's what we need.
Yes,
Oh, that'd be cool.
please.
Yeah.
I
Dude,
think
the
we're gonna get them,
Black
man. I
Flag
think we're
is
gonna get
coming
them.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
fact that we're
I
getting
hope we
that, it's
do.
like if that sells well, then they've got it. I mean, I'm sure they'll do two, and one probably could really use a remake a lot more than any
Yeah.
other. So
Yep.
I
Yeah,
bet we'll get them.
Yeah,
dude.
that's my dream right there. And Black Flag, I'm so excited
I'm
for.
so
So excited for.
stoked, dude. I am so excited for the Black Flag
Yep.
remake.
I
Everything
just
about it looks so good.
Yep. I just started playing started a playthrough again of
Nice.
the
Oh,
original. So
nice.
yeah.
That's great. That's great. What do you guys what's the temperature on Fable right now?
I I have no experience with Fable as a franchise, so I don't
Really?
know. Yeah, I've never played a Fable game. Anything that's
No
Xbox exclusive,
way.
I've never owned an Xbox, so I have a real
Mm.
blind
Do
spot
that
to all that.
video.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
that
true, man.
video.
Yeah, we should
That
totally
would do
dig into some
so
Fable.
well.
Yeah, yeah, I hear great things about those games. So I'm really excited that it's going multi-platform. I mean, if Xbox weren't doing all of the multi-platform stuff, I would get an Xbox because I want to play a lot of these games. I think Fable looks really cool. I think it looks really awesome. I am I'm glad they delayed it. It gave it a little breathing room from with all
Yeah.
the craziness of the holiday period, but I'm on board. I mean, I haven't seen a ton of the gameplay. I know they released more of that last week, but from what I've seen, I think it looks awesome. I'm really excited
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, I've played Fable 2 on the 360. That's the only experience. I've never played the first one, but I
Hmm.
do remember thoroughly enjoying Fable 2.
Oh,
Fable
Or
2 is
nice.
amazing.
yeah. Yeah.
Is that considered to be like the best one of the series generally?
I think a lot of people have a lot of nostalgia for the first Fable. But I tried going back to it recently and it was kind of tough. Um, there's some things that are just really old mechanically in the same way where like the early Resident Evil games, when you go back to those, they feel really old. And
Hmm.
it's the same with Fable. But
Hmm.
Fable 2, I think, updates that a little bit. Man, I didn't know that I had just assumed that you had like a Fable video or something. If you did that, it probably wouldn't do as well as like your Ocarina of Time video or something. But people really love Fable. That video would do really well.
Mm.
It'd do really well.
Duly noted. Yeah, I'd love to do it at some point. I definitely want to find a way to play some of those older games because again, there's a lot of Xbox stuff that I've missed and I want to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the new Fable game I'm very interested in because it looks like Fable and it feels like Fable, but all they've shown so far is kind of this life sim in the city. You can buy every house and you can rent it out. You can marry whoever you want. You can, there's all these really cool economy things that you can do, but they haven't really showed us what a quest looks like or what, just exploring out in the world looks like. And so I'm
Hmm.
kind of
Hmm.
like, I'm like, when are they going to show me that? But then
Right.
also with the romance, if you can romance any character, then that's not a deep storyline. You know what I mean? It's just like a random
Mm-hmm.
NPC. Like in Baldur's Gate, the romance storylines are these very deep, like they are a story unto themselves. And if it's any character, if you can just romance whoever you want, then there's not really there's no way to make like a dedicated story about that. So that's the one thing I'm a little bit iffy on, but
Do they have a release date?
February,
February.
yeah,
Okay.
it's a ways out.
Why don't we address this weird thing you got here about a body pillow?
Oh yeah, Gabe's body pillow. So Gabe's birthday was a few days ago,
Oh,
and I
nice.
mean
Happy
this
belated.
isn't.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday, Gabe. This isn't like a big topic or anything. It's just kind of funny. So Gabe and I are both very big fans of Baldur's Gate 3. And
Mm.
one of our favorite characters is Asterion, who is like the big fan favorite character. He's very flamboyant, we can say. And so I had this idea for Gabe's birthday. I was like, what if I just like got him like kind of a gag gift and just got him a body pillow of Asterion? And I found one with like Asterion is like on the pillow like this, just like full length. And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this and send it to Gabe. That'd be so funny. And then he and I ended up talking about it, and I never ordered it. But that it was literally one time where I did the Google search Asterion body pillow, and every fucking day I get some advertisement for an Asterion body pillow, a Gale body pillow. Like I was on Twitter. The reason I put it in here is I was on Twitter this morning, and on the sidebar, this big advertisement for an Asterion body pillow. I'm like, Google, I looked it up one time. Like this isn't something I'm interested in ordering. Like over
Wow.
and over.
It's just
I
it's a one strike policy, I guess, with the body
yeah.
pillows.
Mm.
I was just like, chill out, Google. Like I don't need it that bad.
I actually have a question.
Yeah.
So when you're for Wilson, when you're not streaming or not making videos, and I know that takes up a lot of your time. Uh, like what game are you playing right now, just for you,
That's a great
or
question,
are
man.
you?
I am. I think a big sort of like agreement that I made with myself back when I first started streaming on Twitch was if this ruins gaming for me, then I can't do it anymore because I loved
Yes,
playing video games too much
yes,
to sacrifice that.
yep,
And that's a lot of why that's a big part of why I often have covered older games because I have a very particular order that I work through my backlog, and I often refuse to break that cycle or the system that I have
yeah,
to get to some new thing. I've had to be learn to be more flexible with that. But so I'm always playing something because it's such an important part of my outside of all the content creation, everything like that is
yep,
the hobby that I love is just playing
yep.
games. So I'm always working on something. Right now, I'm playing a game called The Midnight Walk. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one, but
That
it's
sounds
this like
familiar.
it came out. I think it came out last year. It's this indie kind of horror game. I think all the assets they actually made with clay. So it has this sort of like Tim
Oh
Burton
yes,
Yes.
claymation
I
look
have
to
seen
it.
this.
Yeah, it's really cool. I've only gotten like an hour into it, so I'm not very far. But and I think it's pretty short. I kind of like having
Yeah,
a shorter indie game as like a palate
for
cleanser
sure.
between
Yep,
games.
yep,
Yeah.
But it's first person, kind of maybe a puzzle adventure kind of style game you could call it. Really cool. Really, really like it. I love messing around with different indie games and seeing a different art style or a different mechanic. I feel like
yeah,
a lot of AAA games, for as much as I love them, of course, there's some level of safety with those that
yep,
independent studios are willing to circumvent. So
Yeah.
I've been playing that one recently. I just wrapped up randomly. I was playing Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora,
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
the
okay.
Yes,
Ubisoft open world one.
yeah, I really enjoyed that game.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I liked it too. It was very much like a Ubisoft open world game, you know?
Yep.
It was just some of that. And I haven't played a
Yep,
Ubisoft
yep,
game in quite a while, so I was really like in the mood. I love open worlds. I love just
yeah,
checking off the boxes, exploring around, and I mean that game was really at times very beautiful. Like when the lighting would come in at the right time of day and you're in
yep,
the jungle. I mean, it was pretty stunning. So
yeah.
I loved exploring, running around. That one was a really fun. That was really fun. So that that was 30 hours or whatever. So it's been nice to have
Yep.
a little different change of pace after that.
Isn't there a new I think there's like a new DLC out for that, right?
I
That
think there
just
is.
came out?
Yeah, they were telling
Okay.
me about it a lot as I was playing it. Every
Okay.
time I opened up the map
Okay.
screen, they had like the expansions on
Oh,
either side
okay.
of the
Yeah.
map.
I haven't played it since that was like a thing, but I think I want to go back and check it out. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I play more of it, man. I mean, it's worth jumping back into.
Yeah.
I really dug it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Not not a game of the year contender by any means, but it was
For
just a
sure.
nice,
For sure.
safe Ubisoft game.
Yep.
What about you guys? What have you guys been playing?
It's a great question. I have been playing, let's see. I've been playing 007,
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
nice,
which
nice.
which I'm enjoying a lot. It's fun. I don't like I haven't like got lost in it, I would say,
Hmm.
but like I'll get home from work and maybe play an hour and enjoy it, have a good time.
Hmm.
Uh and then I'm a little late to the party, but I am working through The Last of Us for the first time.
Oh, nice, awesome,
Yeah.
man.
And so I think probably 3/4 of the way through Last of Us 2.
I was gonna say you've
Oh,
got to be
nice.
close.
Yeah, and so that's like I'm kind of like I find myself in my head. I find myself saying or like playing something else first, but it's only because I love it so much and I'm having so much fun with it that I'm gonna be bummed when it's
Oh, dude,
over.
I know the
Like,
feeling, man. Yeah, yeah. It's so rare to find a game like that that you actively do not want to end, you know? Like I feel
yes,
like
yeah,
for as many games as I enjoy, most of the time I'm ready for it to be over by the time it's
yep,
over. But I put Last of Us Part 2 took me 60 hours to play through because I was just going so slowly. I was pouring over
yep,
every inch. Oh,
Yeah.
yep,
what a great game.
yeah, amazing, amazing. Yeah,
It's
that
yeah.
those are probably my two big ones currently.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. I'm playing I'm always replaying Baldur's Gate, but
Nice.
I'm
Nice.
I'm playing through this whole weekend I've been playing Wasteland 3, which is
Oh, cool.
actually from the same people that made Fallout 1 and 2
Oh,
back
that's
when it
right.
was like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
isometric like top-down looking thing. Bethesda bought the rights to Fallout, and then those guys went and made the Wasteland series, which is kind of similar, but it's a little bit more goofy than Fallout.
Mm,
Like Fallout is already kind of goofy, but Wasteland is a little bit even goofier than that. Um, and so sometimes I'm kind of like, all right, I you're trying to make a joke. It's not necessarily making me laugh, but it's probably making somebody laugh, kind of thing.
yeah.
But at its core, it is just a really, really good CRPG. It's like turn-based tact. Have you ever played XCOM, Wilson?
A little bit, a smidgen.
Okay, it's kind of like XCOM style combat where you're moving your guys around and finding different like tactical places to sit them,
Hmm.
and different builds. Like my main guy is a sniper. I have a girl that's like an SMG person that like runs into the fight and just starts spraying SMG bullets everywhere. And there's tons of different builds that you can do that are really fun. And then
Nice.
you have a team of six, and so they all work together in really cool ways. And it's like a Fallout style story. I would say it's pretty
Mm.
similar as far as like a story arc for those kind of games. But yeah, that's been super fun. What else have I been playing? Let's open my Steam library. Final Fantasy 16. I'm always kind of chipping away at that. Um, oh yeah, Gabe and I got to do the Hunters Gathering, the Horizon Hunters Gathering
Oh, cool.
beta test. That was super fun.
So you guys enjoyed that?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
Nice.
it was cool.
Definitely like a, maybe hour at a time game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But for that hour, you have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
it's kind of,
it's repetitious, so you can go through the thing once, but then you'd have to do it again.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So there was 2 beta tests. The first one I was like, I don't really like this. And then the second beta test, I was able to invite more people. So I brought Gabe and our friend Nova in the chat here. And we got to play, and it was way more fun playing with friends. It was way more fun playing with friends. So that was a really good time. But yeah, I'm hoping they're able to tweak it more and make it better and turn it into a really cool game. But other than that, I'm not really playing too much else. I've been dumping a lot of hours into Baldur's Gate and Wasteland recently, and that's
nice.
That's pretty much it. Speaking of Baldur's Gate, we'll kind of wrap up with a couple things here. I was going to tell you, Wilson, I've mentioned in your live stream so many times, I'm like, you got to play Baldur's Gate, and you're like, we will. I think that for you, with Baldur's Gate, I don't think you can do the I played this game for 5 hours thing. I don't think it works with Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
And so if you see my note here, what I have is an idea. I think if there is a week where you have a video that's just like really easy, and like, every now and then one of those videos comes along where it's like, I don't really have to think too much about this. I just have to record and edit it. If there's a week where there's a video like that, then use the rest of the time during that week just to dump as many hours into Baldur's Gate 3 as you can, and just really give it a shot. Because I think that if you put 5 hours into it and then make a video, your comment section is going to be like, this guy doesn't even know. Like,
yeah, totally. I think you're totally right, man.
I think you have to like dedicate. You don't have to play the whole thing, but I think you have to dedicate some time to at least getting through like Act 1 and then making a video on it. Because at first you're not gonna like any of the characters. A lot of the companions are kind of like, oh, this person kind of sucks. But then once you get to know them over time, they become some of your favorite characters in video games, period. Like some of the companions in Baldur's Gate 3, I'm like, they're just my favorite like video game characters, bar none, period.
Wow.
And so but you have to get to that point. You have to there's like a relationship that you literally build with each character in the game. You have like a relationship like meter and everything. And once that starts to go up, then they start telling you more about themselves. You find out, what the flaws are of all your companions, what their flaws are and what they're good at, what makes them a good character. And I think you just have to get to that point. And so, yeah, I'd say if there's a week where there's just like an easy video, or like easy video, you know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, I can kind of like put this together in a couple days and then spend the rest of the days playing Baldur's Gate. I think that's the strat. That's the strat.
I knew I was gonna see Spencer try so hard to convince you to play Baldur's Gate. I knew it. And you know why I knew it? Because he does it with every human being.
Wait, let me see here. Let me snag it. I've got it over here. I've got my copy still shrink wrapped.
He's got it.
Oh, you have it. I didn't know you had the game.
I have got it. So it is one. I'll give you a brief synopsis of how I play games, but I have like a big backlog, of course. the more excited that I am to play a game, the longer I will wait to play it. I just always
Yeah.
loved looking forward to things. I like anticipating things.
Yep.
So the only reason that I haven't played it is because I'm really excited to play it. Um, but yeah, this is like one of the biggest games. Like we're certainly going to cover it, but it's one that I've always thought about. Like, how are we going to cover this? Because it's going to be
Yeah,
like
it's
I did like
way
Final Fantasy
different sadly.
VII, and people were like, "Dude, you only played 5 hours of Final Fantasy VII,
Right.
and that's like a fraction of this game." So,
Right.
figuring out how we're going to actually cover it in a way that does justice to the game will be interesting. Hope maybe we can stream it a lot. I'm sure. Hopefully, we can get some more mileage out of it in that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to make sure that we bite off enough of a bite that it feels
Hmm.
substantive and not like this sort of really rash judgment of a game that could take 100 plus hours. 5 hours
Right.
is a drop in the bucket. So
Right.
I'm stoked to play it. I can't wait. Ellie also, interestingly, it is one of her most anticipated games. I don't even quite know why she's so excited to play it, but she really is stoked. So I think it's going to
That's
be
awesome.
really fun. I can't wait to jump into it. CRPGs, perfect example of a genre that I have very little experience with. I
Hmm.
mean, I may have pretty much no experience with, really. And this to me has kind of felt like the Pow world of
Yes.
CRPGs. It's like
Yeah.
this is the doorway
Gateway.
into
Yeah.
Yep.
this genre. And if you can get into this, not only does that mean that the genre is for you, but you may then maybe I can play a Wasteland, and maybe I wouldn't have
Hmm.
liked it before Baldur's Gate 3, but now I have the literacy from that game that
Yeah.
I can carry over to that game, and then so I am stoked. I'm so excited. I've heard such
Absolutely.
great things about it. Obviously, I mean, just sort of the colloquial game of the year from 23, I think,
Yeah.
when it came out, or 24, or whenever.
Hmm.
Um, I'm stoked. I'm stoked. So I can't wait to play it. I can't wait to cover it. It's one of those games too
Yeah.
where it's like sometimes you just like an Ocarina of Time. It's like I feel like this is going to do pretty well on the channel. Like I just had
Yeah.
a. It's pretty easy to tell. It's like I feel like Baldur's Gate 3 is another one where it's like if you want some views, just make a Baldur's Gate 3 video. You're probably going to do fairly
Yeah.
well in that regard. So I'm stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
No,
think
that's cool.
Ellie too, with her playing it, I think she's going to like maybe she won't get as into the gameplay systems, but she's gonna love the characters. Like
Yeah.
she seems like someone that's really gonna fall in love with all the different companions and everything.
I think so. I think she loves story-driven games, and we've kind of been not doing a lot of those lately. We've been focused more on sort of mechanical gameplay-driven experiences. So she loves it when we can dive into a cool story like this, and with the flexibility and the choice. I think we've never really done something quite like this, where you have so much autonomy in how the story unfolds. Like I
Yeah.
think that's going to be
Yeah.
really thrilling for her and me too. I mean, I've become a little disillusioned with like sort of some of the Telltale
Hmm.
style games where it feels almost illusory that you really have a say in how things are
Sure.
unfolding. But here's a game from what I've heard, you really do have a say
You
in how
really
this is
Yeah.
do.
unfolding in a
Yeah.
massive way, which excites me. I mean, I'm intimidated by the game, by the battle system. Like it's intimidating,
Yeah.
but I'm just gonna jump in and just give it the time that it deserves. And hope that it worms its way into what I love, and I think I have a feeling I'm gonna have a great time, and I think Ellie will have a great time too.
Yeah. And if you have any questions about anything, just reach out to me and I'll give you a whole
Duly
synopsis
noted.
on what you
I
should
feel
do.
very fortunate.
He
I feel
is a
very fortunate.
professional.
That yeah, it's. I mean, honestly, man, I will probably reach out to you with a number of questions at some
For
point
sure.
because
For
we can
sure.
talk about it in a future stream. Perhaps
Yeah.
it's good to know I have a resource to question if need be.
Yeah, Gabe will tell you that when I played through my game, then I played through Gabe's campaign because you can do online co-op. I played
Right.
through
Yeah,
all the
that's
way through
awesome.
his game, and then I created a second playthrough that I did, and then our other co-host and friend Chris has recently started playing it, so I've been playing through his whole playthrough with him, and every time it's been very different, like different choices that people make. There was several times in Gabe's game and in Chris's game where I'm like, I haven't seen this cutscene before, and I've
Wow,
put
that's crazy.
600 hours into this game. You know what I mean?
Wow, that is
So
so cool. So, Gabe, what did
yeah.
you think about it? Did you enjoy it?
Mhm.
Yeah, I really did enjoy it, and I had never ever played a CRPG, and I always in
Oh,
my
that's
head
great.
thought, yeah, I thought I didn't want anything to do with turn-based combat. Like it
Mm.
was
Hmm.
always off-putting. It was just not something I was interested in.
Hmm.
And of course, Spencer plays it, and I hear about it 35 times a day, every day. So I'm like, all right, let's play it. Let's try it. And yeah, I started playing it with him, and it was pretty, I don't know, maybe 2 hours in, I was all about turn-based combat.
Nice.
It's so weird. Like I was
Uh-huh.
baffled. I was baffled by it because I was like,
Uh-huh.
I knew in my heart of hearts that I was not gonna like this.
Uh-huh.
Just the combat, right? The
Right,
story's
right,
awesome.
right. Right.
Uh, but then you start doing it, and you can start kind of strategizing about
Mhm.
it, and
Uh-huh.
the options are endless. It's really cool, man. It's a lot of
Wow.
fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome to hear,
Yeah,
man. That like there's nothing more exciting to hear someone else who was skeptical, didn't play CRPGs. The battle system is also the thing that I do like turn-based RPG or turn-based battle systems, not as
yeah,
much as real time at this point, but
Mhm.
to hear that you had all of that going into it and still had a great time, that makes me feel a lot more confidently that I will also enjoy myself.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm excited to I'm excited to see you try it.
Me too, man.
I literally have no idea what you're gonna think of it, but it's gonna be such a great video.
I know. Hopefully, it lives up to the
Uh,
hype. I'm
yeah.
optimistic that it will. I feel confidently that it will.
Awesome. Well, should we do one quick random question before we go? A quick like a quick fire round of a random topic, and then we'll bounce out of here.
Let's do it.
Sure.
That sounds perfect.
Okay. The one that I was thinking of asking, but let me know if there's another topic you'd rather do, is what is something that feels illegal but isn't, or just feels icky but isn't actually?
That's a great question. That's a great question.
That is a good question.
I can give you mine, and maybe that'll help kind of steer. Mine both have to do with grocery stores.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting. Okay.
And one of them is, especially if it's like a really small grocery store, going into a grocery store and not finding what you're looking for and then leaving without buying anything. I feel like every time I leave, I'm like looking at the cashier. I'm like, I didn't steal anything. I just didn't find what I was
Mm.
looking for. You know
Oh,
what I mean? You
yeah.
know that feeling of just
I feel
like,
very paranoid when I do that. I'm like always
yeah,
like,
I'm
especially if I
like,
don't stay in
Yeah.
there for very long. It's like,
yeah. If I'm just in
this
and
looks
out,
suspicious.
I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. I just didn't find the thing. And then, and then the other one is, this is when I say the most uncomfortable I can possibly get. I can do public speaking and feel totally fine. I can do all manner of like things that people are really afraid of and be totally fine. The thing that gives me so much anxiety is when I'm at the grocery store and I am heading the same way as somebody else, but I'm like maybe 3 feet behind them. And it
Hmm.
just happens that we're going the same way. Do you guys know what I mean? Where like
Mm.
let's say they're on their way to the milk and I'm on my way to the milk, and we're both going the same way, but I'm just like 3 feet behind this person for minutes as we go through the store. And I
Yes,
almost want to
done
take
that.
like an alternate
A
route.
detour.
Yeah, like I'm
Yeah.
just gonna turn around and take a lap around the store and come back to the milk because I don't wanna be right behind this person.
I've done that while driving, like
Oh,
to the
really?
point where you take like, you're following the same car 30 miles, 15 turns, and you're in
You're
my
like, I
head,
promise I'm not a
yeah,
cop.
in
I'm
my
not here to
head,
hurt you.
I'm not a cop, or I'm not following you. Like I
Yeah.
have a destination I'm going to,
Yeah.
but that definitely feels weird for
Yeah.
sure.
There was a really awkward thing the other day where I was turning into my neighborhood and there was this lady on a bike, and I'm driving a truck that has like a canopy on it. All of the windows are completely blacked out, like as dark as you can get tint on the windows. And I'm like, she's like going on her bike through the neighborhood, but she's going the exact route to my house, and every street is like really short and it's a turn. There's like 3 or 4 turns that I have to make. And so I'm trying to get around her, but I don't want to like hit her or anything because she's in the street. And I'm just like, I feel super weird just driving right behind this lady on a bike. I'm like, I'm just trying to get home. I'm not. It just feels bad. I don't know.
Icky.
Icky is the word.
Icky.
Okay, what about, were you guys able to think of anything? We can pick a different topic if you want.
I was gonna say I'm trying. I'm trying.
Okay.
I mean, I would say this isn't something that feels badly, but you kind of made me think about it with going into a store and coming back out. Like, I just find it funny that with the restaurant industry, we go into a restaurant, we order our food, we eat it all before we ever pay or give them anything that
Oh yeah.
commits us to the
Good
process. And I know
point.
obviously
Sure.
people dine and dash, like there's a name for that because it's a phenomenon, but it's like it's always funny to me the societal agreement that this very fragile contract that we're just gonna
Yeah.
come in here. We could so easily get up and no one would even notice half the time if we just
Yeah.
walk away after we've
That's
eaten
right.
the food, and yet the honor system seems to work fairly well for us there. I find that very strange.
Yeah,
that
that
is
is
true.
bizarre.
Yeah.
Especially when some of these places, you could be dropping $60, $70 a plate, more
Yeah,
if you go to a
yeah.
really nice place. Like, it can be way up there. Just completely on the honor system.
Yeah, it's so, I mean, obviously I've never tried it, but it seems very easy to just get up and walk away, you know?
And just go. Yeah.
Wouldn't take much effort. That's
my
for
gosh.
sure.
Okay, I'll switch the topic a little bit because this is a quick one too. What's your significant other's nickname for you? Anything embarrassing? Do we have anything?
Ooh.
I have an embarrassing one.
What is it? I gotta
Boo
know.
boo
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 boo?
butt.
Boo boo butt.
Boo boo butt.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I have
That's
one
great.
and it's Boo Boo.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
no way!
Oh, that's
That's
great.
crazy, man.
That is
That's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
cool.
Okay, I have an origin story for ours.
Okay.
I was at a concert with some friends a few years ago. This has nothing to do with Ellie, but one of my dear friends, she opened up her phone and I saw the phone and it was a dog. And I was like, "Oh, is that your dog?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's my family dog." And she was like, try to guess what his name is." And so I just said, "Truly." I had no idea. I just said Boo Boo just to be silly. And she was like,
Yep.
"Yes, his name is Boo Boo."
Whoa.
Whoa.
And it was so funny. It was hilarious.
That's
I've told that
crazy.
story numerous times, and at some
Yep.
point I told Ellie, and then for some reason, at some point I just called her Boo Boo in jest, and that is complete. I don't even call her Ellie anymore. I only say Ellie if I'm like telling her,
Yep.
if I'm talking about her to someone else. We exclusively call each other Boo Boo now, and it's like
What?
that's just our name. Yeah, it's. I
That's
have this weird thing though.
crazy.
When I get really close with people, like really close, I often will like not say their name anymore. I don't know why that
Sure.
Yeah.
is, but with a partner, it's like I just to say Ellie almost feels impersonal. You know, it's like you get
Right.
so
Yes.
close with
Yeah.
someone that it's
Yeah.
like you need a nickname. You know, so
Right.
Boo Boo is exclusive, both of us. It's like I can't imagine not calling her that. That is so crazy that
Yeah,
that
that
Boo
is
Boo Butt is
that
y'all's
is
name.
wild.
That's
Yep.
so funny.
Yeah, we
That's so
shorten
funny.
it to Boo
Boo. Oh yeah, I've heard her call you Boo before. Yeah,
frequently, but Boo Boo Butt is the original.
yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Wow. That's great.
That's awesome, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. That's so
I
funny.
That's
know,
wild.
that's wild. It's wild.
So the origin of this question came from I was at my friend Sean's house, and I was like kind of down. There's like a half step downstairs thing, and I was right around the corner, and I heard my buddy Sean's wife call him Nugget, and
A good one.
I was like, oh my God. And I was going to come around the corner and just do like the typical dude bro thing, like, "What's up, Nugget?" Like, make fun of him for this nickname. And then I had this moment where I'm like, am I the asshole? Am I like, is that I'm just like, is that a little too high school of like giving your friend crap for a nickname their significant other calls them? So I didn't, but I always thought Nugget was really funny, and I always wanted to be like, "What's up, Nugget?" But two of my other friends, this is something that I cannot tolerate. I really hate the when somebody calls me bud, I don't know
Mm,
why, but it always feels really almost like condescending, and that's not on other people. It's probably just a me thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure other people mean it in like a very friendly way, but it's always come off as "what's up, bud?" or "what's up, buddy?" like little buddy kind of thing. Like it's always felt
yeah.
like almost demeaning. And so I've never liked the term bud. But two of my very good friends, a married couple, they like just like you guys are saying, you exclusively call each other boo. They exclusively call each other bud,
Oh,
and
interesting.
I'm like, if I'm not married, but I'm like, if my wife ever called me bud, there would be divorce papers on the table within an hour. I could not do. I'm like, there's no way. And I asked them, I'm like, so you guys just call each other bud? And they're like, yeah. They're like, that's just what we call each other. And I'm like, I was like trying to dig into this, and they just did not see it as anything. So it's obviously a me thing. I'm like, I could not do it. I'm like, I absolutely could not call my significant other bud or be called bud.
That's an interesting
I've
one. I feel
always,
like I haven't heard too many couples that do bud. That feels more
Yeah.
yeah,
platonic.
Yeah, it feels very platonic.
yep. I've always like, I've always liked it. Like, like I don't know, you're in the store or something, and like an older gentleman, says,
Sure.
excuse me, bud, or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I've always liked that. I'm like, that just feels like nice and warm to me. I don't
Sure.
know.
Mm,
Yeah, I think, yeah, if it's someone who is much older than you calling you bud, if it's like an appropriate age range for them to be like your uncle's age or your dad's age when you were much younger, then I feel like an appropriate gap to say bud. But if it's someone my own age or only slightly older than me saying bud, I don't know. I hate it. I hate it so much.
yeah, yeah. It's fun.
Oh,
I feel like nicknames. It's like this thing. Unless I always love being called a nickname by somebody, whatever it may
yes.
be. It feels like a term of endearment to me.
Yep.
To
Mm-hmm.
the point that like if I meet someone else who goes by a nickname, I won't even call them by the nickname because I feel like I have not earned the
Sure.
nickname yet.
You have to
Yeah.
So
earn it,
it's
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, it's funny how those things like Will's dog became my nickname in high school, and like
Yeah.
We'll
people
stop.
still call me that to this day, and I've always just viewed it as
Yeah.
such a term of endearment because
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like it represents I know you better than your
Yeah.
your your
Yep.
your your legal
Your
name.
formal
I don't know.
name,
For
yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Oh, all right. Well, let's wrap up. We will get everybody out of here. We do have some messages from the chat here. Spacey Nova says, talking about Ocarina, I'm hoping
Mm,
it'll get my kids into it finally. And that's a thing I haven't even considered yet, is getting a new generation of players into Ocarina of Time that have never played it. Like I'm so focused on my own enjoyment. I'm like, "Oh yeah, this is going to be the first time a whole new generation of kids gets to play this game." Like that's so
yep.
cool.
Yep. It
Very
is cool.
exciting.
I want the powers from
I think that's one
Breath
of
of
your,
the Wild and
yeah,
Tears.
Breath of the Wild. Yeah. It is super fun. I agree. I love messing around with all the
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
gadgets.
yeah. I've been meaning to go back to Breath of the Wild. I'm at the point where I'm past. There's that first town that you go to meet Impa, and she's like all old and everything. She's like
Yep.
super ancient. I'm past that and kind of going on to the next couple quests after that. And I'm
Mm,
like,
Have you
nice.
I just need to get back into it.
have you done any of the four like bosses? Like the
No, any of
Okay.
the like divine beasts or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done those at all. And then I've been hooked on Windrose. So this is another survival crafting game that is very
Mm,
similar to Pal World and Enshrouded. And Nova here and I actually met while playing Enshrouded. We were in the Enshrouded Discord, and we were
oh,
looking
cool.
for other players that were in our same kind of area, like time zone. We're like, we don't want to have to deal with looking for someone that's like 3 hours ahead and they can only play for an hour after work, whereas opposed to we could play for 3 or whatever.
Mhm.
And so we met through there, and we became like we literally text and call each other every day.
Oh,
um,
nice.
and
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, so that's how we met. But yeah, she's been playing Windrose, and that's a game that I really want to get into because I dumped so many hours into Enshrouded.
Oh, nice.
All right, well that is all we've got for today. Any final thoughts from you guys before we bounce out of here?
I do want to say, and I promise I'm not blowing smoke at you,
Okay.
Wilson, but I do want to say that you are probably one of the most well-spoken people that I've seen come onto this podcast.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
for
Thank you,
sure.
man. That's a massive compliment. Thank you for saying
Yeah.
that. I really
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, it's always nice when we get somebody who it's usually somebody who has a YouTube channel, someone who's used to doing like the video essay kind of thing.
Hmm.
And it feels like I don't know, because sometimes I'm not going to name any names, of course, but sometimes we get people on the channel that are first time guests, and I'm like, I don't know if I can post that episode just because I'm like just tripping all over their words and everything. And I trip over my words sometimes too, but sometimes it's just so bad where I'm like, I don't know if that's going to be a good episode to post. And so it's always nice when we get someone on here who's like very professional and well spoken. Thank you, Wilson.
Thank you. I really appreciate you saying that. It's funny you mentioned that sort of phenomenon. My sister got married a few weeks ago, about a month ago, and I officiated the wedding, and I
Oh
was
yeah.
starting to read what I'd written.
Yep.
And it was like 10 or 15 minutes long. And I started, and I mean, of course, I was very nervous before we started and
Yeah.
everything, but
Yeah.
I started reading it and I was like, I felt great. And
Mm.
I read through the whole thing and I didn't trip over a single word. And I
Oh,
thought about it afterwards.
nice.
I was like, man, all of these scripts that I've read for these YouTube videos
Have paid
has
off.
trained me to be able to read words in
Yes.
real
Yes.
time. And it was like,
Yeah.
wow, it was such a cool
That is cool.
tether
Connection.
between these two
Yeah.
parts of
Yeah.
life. It was like, wow, I
Mhm.
never really thought that one day this would help me officiate a wedding to read
Yeah.
to read this review of Breath of the Wild. But here we are. So
Yeah,
really
That's
appreciate
cool.
that. That has made my day. That's really
For
kind
for
of you
sure.
to say. Thank
sure.
you.
How does that? Because you've mentioned in your live streams that you've done that a couple times, like done like a speech at a wedding or something.
Mhm.
Is public speaking pretty natural for you in general? Like, are you nervous at first, and then once you get going, it's easier? Because I feel like I've done quite a bit of public speaking in various ways, and I'm always nervous at first, but then once the
Mhm.
ball starts rolling, then I'm just like doing it and it's fine. Are you similar?
Yeah, I feel like it's almost impossible not to have some level of nervousness before public speaking. Like maybe
Yeah.
there's a one in a million out there that has no effect, but I definitely get those butterflies. But yeah, as soon as I start it, it's like, okay, I've always felt that way. My grandfather was a pastor and he was
Mm.
so comfortable with speaking in front of people. And I mean, in that role, obviously he did it on a weekly basis. And
Yeah.
he was really he was just a storyteller. He really loved to write and wrote sermons, of course, but he had that piece of him. And my mom isn't someone who gets up and speaks in front of people with regularity, but she also loves to write. And I feel like I just got those genes. And so I feel like that public speaking, like I could always just turn it on when I was a kid. Like I used to do theater when I was younger, and it's like I
Oh,
would get
cool.
very nervous. But then when I was on that stage, I was on stage, and it was like we're on.
Yeah.
It was like a
Yeah.
different person came out because I was very introverted back then too,
Yeah.
and to
Yeah.
some degree I still am. And it was just always like a switch would flip. So I feel
Yeah.
like once I'm doing whatever it is that I'm doing, I feel a lot more comfortable than
Right.
anticipating it.
Yeah. It's the end.
And
Anticipation is
yeah.
the worst.
Yeah.
For
Oh,
sure.
it always
For
is,
sure.
man. And it's like you can do
That's
it a
what
million
always.
times, you'll always get nervous for the next one.
Mhm.
Yep. That's what I really have a massive fear of public speaking, and I think it's just the anticipation.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like
Totally,
I
man.
really think if I were to just do it, I'd probably be fine. But it's just getting there is so terrifying.
Yeah.
It's rough, dude. It's brutal. I always have like stomach pain after I've done the thing, because I
Oh
finally go
yeah.
back to normal, and it's like, oh
Yeah,
my
you
god, that
relax.
5 hours of
Yeah.
butterflies like shredded my
Yeah.
It's all
stomach.
materializing like
Yeah.
with your theatrical background, have you ever thought about, this was going to be a question earlier, I'll just ask it real quick. Have you ever thought
Sure,
about
sure.
doing very, very different videos, like skits, or like kind of like the Ennie Austin thing where he's in front of a green screen and talking about, like, oh, this is how many people have jobs in this town in Skyrim or whatever, like just
Mm-hmm.
weird topics that like shake up like the channel a little bit, or
Yeah, totally. I mean, I'd love to do stuff like that. Get in front of a green screen, switch up the format. Definitely ideas percolating in that regard. It's mostly just sort of the production realities of it that have prevented me from already doing it.
mm,
But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I love storytelling, and I view the YouTube channel as a form of that. But I've mentioned in the streams, I'm writing a screenplay. I've written screenplays in the past.
oh
Like
cool,
a good friend of mine went to film school and wants to direct, and we're working on,
Cool.
getting a script together for a short that I would act in. Like being an actor was always like the end game for me.
yeah,
So yeah, I just love in any form, in any medium, telling a story. I think that's such a fun,
yeah,
endlessly fascinating and fulfilling act, to be able to create. So
yeah.
anything in that realm, I love it. So yeah, definitely will I'm contemplating how to kind of reinvent the format with the channel and try out some different stuff.
Very
Awesome.
cool, very cool. Well, Wilson, thank you so much for giving up your Sunday and hanging out with us and chatting about all manner of things. We actually got through the majority of our notes. Usually that does not happen.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, well, I
So,
mean, thank you guys. I mean, I think I said at the beginning, but I loved getting the chance to talk about video games is always fun, but also, the channel itself. I mean, it's isolating to make
yeah,
something from scratch. You kind of silo yourself, and I'm lucky that my partner's a participant
Yeah.
in it, but
yeah,
a lot of it's very lonely and very
Yeah.
isolating. And so to have the chance to talk about it with people and,
for sure.
get to, I learned things about my own process in a conversation like this. So I'm
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
appreciative to both of you for having me on the show. It's a real pleasure to get to talk about this stuff.
Absolutely, man. Has been a pleasure.
awesome. Yeah, I'm so appreciative of you just being willing to be like, sure, I'll come on. That's how we get most of our guests is we'll go on to somebody's live stream just in the chat and participate and be like, "Hey, would you like to come talk?"
Yeah,
And sometimes people say yes and sometimes they say no, and so I really appreciate you being willing to come on here and give this little podcast a chance and hang out.
of course, man. Of course. I have a general rule with anything within reason. If someone wants to talk to me about this stuff, I say yes every time because
Awesome.
at the beginning, I would have said, wow, how cool would it be if someone wanted to hear my thoughts one day about games or
Yeah.
about my
Yeah.
creative process? It's like, that is crazy. I mean, I think
Yeah.
that's an easy milestone to kind of brush over. But it's like,
Yeah.
if someone wants to hear you talk about stuff like that, that's an accomplishment. So I
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always say yes to this type of thing. I think it's just, and again, you can make new friends, you can meet new people. I think
Hmm.
it's an awesome opportunity.
Without a doubt, for sure. All right. Well, we are going to wrap it up there, everybody. Links to Wilson's channel and all that will be down in the description. So go check all that out, and I will have those for you there. What do we have coming up, Gabe? Do we have any books we're doing in the
We
near
still
future?
need to do the last contract of Isekai.
Mm. Yes, yeah, the new Fonda Lee book. We'll be doing that. I feel like there's another book coming out this summer, but I can't remember what it is. But you guys will see updates in our YouTube like community posts and stuff like that. And if you join our Discord, we're always talking about kind of what we're doing next and what our plans are. I do want to do a video. I'm probably going to have to get that out in the next week. With all the hype around the Ocarina of Time remake, I wanted to make a video about what Ocarina of Time means to me and how it got me into fantasy and how it kind of directed my tastes of really specific fantasy that I like. So I'm gonna make a video on that. It's mostly just gonna be praising Ocarina of Time and me just being ridiculously excited for the remake. So I'll have that out probably. You guys will probably see that before this video comes out. So that's what I'll be working on. But yeah, we have a number of series that we've wanted to get to this summer that we're still going to be trying to get to. Like we wanted to revisit King Killer, and so we might check that out soon, and do that. And my dog, he knows when the podcast is ending. He comes in here, he's like, "Motherfucker, take me outside so I can go potty." So I am gonna do that. But thank you everybody for watching and hanging out today. Check out the links in the description, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.